Imagine a situation so tense that it leads to one of the most controversial military operations in Indian history. In the early 1980s, a storm was brewing in Punjab. A charismatic but polarizing figure was gaining influence, Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale. He was seen by some as a religious leader, by others as a political radical. His rise was marked by an increasing wave of violence and tension, turning Punjab into a powder keg ready to explode. Bhindranwale's message resonated with a section of the Sikh population, leading to a surge in his support base. He advocated for Sikh rights and autonomy, but his methods were contentious, inciting violence and militancy. The Punjab landscape was changing, becoming a hotbed of unrest and turmoil. Meanwhile, the Indian government watched with growing concern. The tension was palpable, the stakes high. The government was caught in a dilemma: to negotiate with the radicals and risk encouraging more violence, or to take decisive action to restore law and order. The decision was tough, the choices unpalatable. Yet the government, led by then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, made a call that would forever change the course of Indian history. The escalating violence, the growing influence of Bhindranwale, the unrest in Punjab, all these factors culminated in a decision that would shock the nation and the world. The government decided to take the drastic step of deploying the army to quell the unrest. As the situation escalated, the government saw no choice but to deploy the army, marking the start of Operation Bluestar. June 1984, the Indian Army marches towards the Golden Temple, not with offerings of peace, but with artillery and soldiers. The Golden Temple, a symbol of spiritual solace, was about to become a battleground. Operation Bluestar was set in motion with a clear directive to remove the militants seeking refuge within the sacred precincts of the temple. The operation, however, was far from straightforward. The Indian Army, under the command of Major General Kuldip Singh Brar, had meticulously planned their strategy. They knew they were up against a well-armed and deeply entrenched adversary, Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale and his followers. The army's approach was to launch a three-pronged attack to corner the militants. But the Golden Temple's complex architecture and the presence of numerous devotees presented significant challenges. The army had underestimated the resilience of the militants, who put up a fierce resistance, turning the temple complex into a war zone. The operation was a grueling ordeal that lasted for 3 days, from June 3 to June 6. The temple endured substantial damage, its sacred edifices scarred by bullet marks and explosions. The Akal Takht, the highest temporal seat of the Sikhs, was almost reduced to rubble. Casualties were high on both sides. The army reported 83 of their men had fallen, while 248 were wounded. The militant casualties were estimated to be much higher, but the exact numbers remain a matter of contention. The operation also resulted in significant civilian casualties, a fact that stoked controversy and widespread criticism. Many questioned the necessity of such a drastic measure, while others condemned what they perceived as a blatant disregard for the sanctity of the holy site. In the aftermath of the operation, the Golden Temple lay damaged, and the fallout was just beginning. Operation Bluestar ended, but it left in its wake a series of events that shook India to its core. The operation, aimed at flushing out militants from the Golden Temple complex in Amritsar, concluded in June 1984. However, the ripple effects were far-reaching and profound, shaping the course of Indian history for years to come. The immediate aftermath of Operation Bluestar was tumultuous. In a shocking turn of events, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi was assassinated by her Sikh bodyguards in October of the same year. This assassination was a direct fallout of the operation and led to a wave of anti-Sikh violence across the country. Thousands of Sikhs were killed in these riots, marking a dark and painful chapter in India's history. The operation also gave rise to heightened militancy in Punjab. The Golden Temple, considered the spiritual home of the Sikh community, was heavily damaged during the operation. This act deeply hurt the sentiments of the Sikh community, resulting in an upsurge of militancy in the region. The state of Punjab became a hotbed of violent protests and militant activities for the next decade. The long-term impact of Operation Bluestar on India's political landscape and the Sikh community cannot be overstated. The operation strained the relationship between the central government and the Sikh community, leading to a period of mistrust and tension. It also significantly altered the political dynamics of Punjab, affecting electoral politics for years to come. On a broader level, Operation Bluestar served as a reminder of the delicate balance that needs to be maintained in a diverse country like India. It underscored the importance of addressing grievances through dialogue and negotiation rather than resorting to military action. The echoes of Operation Bluestar still resonate today, a reminder of a dark period in India's history. This operation, its aftermath, and the lessons learned continue to shape the discourse on religious tolerance, state power, and the importance of peaceful resolution of conflicts in contemporary India. Now, almost 4 decades later, we look back at Operation Bluestar with a more critical eye. In the grand theatre of history, every decision, every action is subjected to the relentless scrutiny of time. Was Operation Bluestar necessary? Could the path have been different? These are questions that have been asked and will continue to be asked. The operation was a response to a complex crisis, one that was deeply rooted in political, religious, and social factors. It was a decision made in a time of great anxiety with the intent to restore peace. Yet the echoes of those tumultuous days are still heard in the corridors of Indian politics and society. Operation Bluestar was not just a military operation. It was and remains a socio-political event of profound significance. The operation has left indelible marks, prompting a reassessment of strategies, of crisis management, of the very fabric of a diverse and vibrant nation. It has sparked conversations about the delicate balance between national security and respect for religious sentiments, about the importance of dialogue and diplomacy in conflict resolution. And even as we delve into this retrospective, it's important to recognize that the journey towards healing and reconciliation is ongoing. Efforts are being made at various levels, from government initiatives to community outreach programs, all aimed at fostering a spirit of understanding, acceptance, and unity. Operation Bluestar, a chapter in Indian history that continues to invite debate, introspection, and a search for closure. As we look back, we do so not just to remember, but to learn, to grow, and to strive for a future where the lessons of the past guide our actions. Operation Bluestar, a military operation that remains etched in the collective memory of a nation. As we draw close to the end of our journey today, let's revisit the key points we've touched upon. The prelude, which set the stage for this operation, painted a picture of a nation grappling with internal strife. The execution, a military maneuver that was both commendable for its strategic planning and heart-wrenching for its human cost. The aftermath, a period of healing and recovery, but also of political and social unrest. And finally, our retrospective, a look back at the operation through the lens of time, shedding light on the lessons learned and the questions that remain unanswered. Operation Bluestar is not just a chapter in a history book. It's a testament to the resilience of a nation, the courage of its people, and the complexities of its past. As we delve into the pages of history, we understand the complexities of the past and perhaps pave the way for a more informed future.